My
Intro.
friend Michelle
Oh, we
joined.
are live. Hey,
What up?
everybody, what's up? We're back. We're back. All right.
We're back.
We're back. Welcome to the watch party of the Hit List Podcast Network. I'm your girl, Larita.
Hey, it's your boy Sydney.
And this is Lydia.
AKA
And this is Brian St. John.
Oh, B, I didn't even notice you got the B on the hat. Okay. All right, tonight we are going. First of all, I'm ultra excited about tonight. Listen, I got my cape on. Tonight we are going to be reviewing DC Stargirl, which is in season 1, episode 7. I'm loving it. I'm representing. I got my
Yes,
my,
you are.
my
Yes, you are.
got my gloves, and let's roll the clip. Let's get it. Let's get right into it.
Where's your mask, though? You should have like an eye mask.
I don't have an eye mask. I'm wearing what I got.
Next time, if you come in costume, come full.
Thank you.
You see, Brian got his costume on.
We gotta get you to a hospital. No, it's over. But the Justice Society must live on. Someone with strength and heroism must carry the torch. I'll try. Not you. Not you. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Right, give me that.
No, the staff picked me. I finally know who I really am. I've got a costume and everything.
I'm trying to protect you. The Justice Society couldn't defeat the Injustice Society.
Injustice Society. None of you were good with names.
This isn't a joke, Courtney. You and I don't stand a chance against them.
Stop trying to scare me. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm putting together this new team to get justice. This is our destiny.
Stargirl, new series, Tuesday, May 19th on the CW.
Yes. Yes.
I'm such a nerd. I love this stuff.
You don't have to be a nerd to love the superhero genre, okay? So Stargirl, which aired episode 7, Shiv Part 1 on Tuesday, is the latest superhero show from DC's universe airing on the CW network. And so I have to tell you that as a superhero and a Marvel fan, and not really a DC fan, well, of the movies.
Don't start it. Don't
Listen,
go there.
Aquaman, okay?
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Don't do it.
Don't
Don't do it.
I'm not going down that hole, okay? But I'm really impressed, and I'm excited by this show. And Courtney, our Stargirl. What? Let's get into it. What y'all think? As a Kiwi.
Yo, okay. I'm a super duper fan, and I love quality work. And the DC streaming service is doing phenomenal work. You know, this is the latest installment series. It was initially on the streaming app, and CW picked it up, and so now it's airing on both networks. And this girl, Courtney, I don't know who she is. I don't know where she came from, but it's reminiscent of when I first saw Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
You know, a young girl in high school coming of age, and she gets powers and has to deal with it. And I'm all in on Courtney. I'm all in. This is such a well done show.
Is she is she Kim Basinger's daughter? Because her name is Breck Basinger.
Oh, that's good. Do we have any fact checkers in the box? Where's Elsa? Where's Chrissy? Can y'all please fact check that in the comments?
Some fact checks, but I'm going to do just a really quick recap before we dig in. So, Stargirl follows the story of Courtney Whitmore, who is Stargirl. She's a high school teenager who has she had to move with her mom because her mom gets married, right? And the family moves from like California to like this place called Blue Valley in Nebraska. Total culture shock, right? that Courtney discovers that her stepfather, Pat, has a secret. He used to be the sidekick to a superhero. Then Courtney finds the cosmic staff and becomes like the inspiration for a new generation of superheroes. So that's just a quick recap for those who have not watched the show and are just joining us. But that is the quick recap of episode 1 of Stargirl. So Lydia, what do you think about the show?
Now, I love all of the shows. I used to watch them, the CW, like Arrow and Flash.
Used to.
Yeah, I fell off. Like, I haven't really kept up with it.
She's not the only person I know that's done that.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with it. And Sid, you know I used to watch them, especially Supergirl. Like, that was I used to talk about Supergirl with Brian all the time. Like, that was my thing because Brian didn't like it.
So you fell off of all of them?
I did. I fell off of all of them. So Stargirl, I was like, okay, well, let me check this out because I do like the other one. I think it's cute. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's cute.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm waiting to get like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's cool, but I'm not like hyped about it like I was Supergirl and Flash and Arrow, whatever. And like now I feel like with the kids, especially, Stargirl, she's a little annoying to me. But yeah, I'm like, it's cool.
She's supposed to be. She's a high school teenager.
I know.
They're all annoying.
And I know. And she's still annoying. Kids in high school are annoying, Sydney. So
that's the point.
It's
a good job. So she's doing a good job.
Of course she's
doing a great job. As I said, it's cool, and I find her annoying, hella annoying. Her character, whatever, and it takes me away from like, oh, what's happening or whatever. Like it's over the top annoying.
What do you think, Brian? First of all, Brian said he was the cool kid in high school.
I was the cool kid in high school.
Okay. Kill me.
I went to Elmont Memorial High School in Long Island, sir. Mind your business.
Ooh.
Okay. So normally I got onto the show late because like Lydia, like Sydney, I watched Flash, I watched Arrow. I attempted to watch Supergirl. It was too corny for me, so I took that off. I attempted to watch Legends of the whatever.
Tomorrow.
Didn't like that. Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow. That was way too super sweet in the teeth and corny for me. So out of 2 out of 4, I was just like, I wasn't really that excited initially to get to this show. But I gave it a chance. I watched it once. I loved it. I thought that it was I love the energy of the show. It's not corny. It's not cheesy. She is a little annoying at times, but she's high school. So I take the whole high school element of it. And for some strange reason, I seem to like all shows, high school and college. I feel like, especially high school shows, I always feel like it takes me back to when I was in high school. Yeah. So I always like gravitating towards those type of shows, but I like it. I like all the cast. I like all of them. I like the energy of the show, and the show doesn't come off as though it's a bubblegum sweet show to me. It kind of has a little grit to it, which is what I like.
So killing people off.
Yeah. So in episode 1, they introduced Stargirl, right? And so from the first part of the show, she's a kid. Right. And she's waiting for her dad to come. I guess it's Christmas or something like that, to come see her or whatever it is, see her and her mom. And her dad never shows up. So they never dig into that storyline. Right. Then we go into Pat, Stripesy, right? And he's with the JSA and they have this big battle. Like,
well, I think break down what the JSA is a little bit so people know.
So it's the Justice Society, and it is the group of Justice Society of America. Thank you. It is the group that is basically the group of the superheroes. So all of the good superheroes are in this group, and then you've got the creatively named Injustice Society of America. for the bad guys, right? And so the Justice Society of America, this is all of the superheroes. And so they all have this battle with the bad guys, and pretty much they all get killed, right? And so there's some sort of underlying theme where you don't know who Stargirl's dad is, right? And Star Guy, what's his name? Starman. He dies as well, almost maybe on the same night as when Courtney's dad, Stargirl's dad, was supposed to come see her, right? So, you have Courtney discover the cosmic staff, which I want us to talk a little bit about the cosmic staff, because I really like the cosmic staff. It's like its own little character. Yeah. Yes, we do watch. I'm sorry, live comments. Somebody said, wow, you guys watch Stargirl too. Yes, we do. We do. Yes. And so, dig in. I wanted to just kind of, she discovers the staff, and then so Courtney seems to think that Starman is her dad. That's now her fantasy. We don't know for sure. What do you all think? Do you think Starman is her dad and that he died that night? That's why he didn't show up?
Well, I think
go ahead, Sydney. Yeah, I think Starman is her dad. I think as we get into all these characters, I think we're gonna see some of these kids are either kids to the old characters that are no longer here, or they're tied in some way somehow. So yeah, I do believe that Starman is her dad.
What you were gonna say, Sid?
I believe that he may not be, only because they have it in your face, and she keeps saying it over and over. That's my dad. That's my dad. And I don't know, if you're a kid, you remember your father. So if you see a picture of him, regardless if he has a costume, wouldn't you recognize your parent?
But you know what's interesting about that picture?
Clark Kent wears glasses, and we don't recognize Clark Kent when he takes the glasses off as Superman.
But he wasn't wearing a mask.
Right, but here's the thing, though. When you look at the picture that she showed, it's such a grainy photo that it's almost like a Jedi mind trick. It's like, oh, he looks a little
right,
bit
and for that fact, I don't think that is her father, because she keeps saying it. Right, and it's so quick, and normally in shows and movies, when they put it right in your face like that, it's always a misdirect.
But you know what? It kind of makes sense that it might be her dad, because think about the cosmic staff. It kind of chose her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been sitting dormant, right? And it then lit up, and it's got its own little personality, and it's like it chose her. First of all, I love the cosmic staff. I want a cosmic staff. But it chose her.
That's why I think that's why I felt like Starman is her dad. Like I just feel like, yeah, he is, even though she keeps saying it over and over. But I don't know. I felt like, okay, yeah, that is her dad. You know what I mean? And you're right. Like the cosmic staff, like I love how, that's his own character. You know what I mean? And it's just funny how they're getting to know each other and so forth. And as it progresses, like they're getting to know each other better, so that, you know what I mean? So that I find funny. I do like their relationship.
I can see your point. I can see your point, Lorena, in saying that. I still believe that that's her father, but I see your point only for the simple fact that the staff could have also chose her because it sensed that she has good energy, like she's a positive person.
Oh, she's worthy.
She's worthy, because as we go on and continue talking about other characters in the show, I feel like certain other costumes kind of pick certain other people as well. So, they might not necessarily be parents or kids to the parents or anything like that either. The costume kind of just chose them. So you could be right.
That's a Kiwi.
Well, I just wanted to make a note that this is a new iteration of the cosmic staff. In the comic book, the cosmic
and I love it. Tell it, Sid. Tell it.
In the comic book, the cosmic staff wasn't sentient. It didn't have a personality. It was a mechanism that was built. And so,
How was it built, sir?
And with it was built, I believe, maybe by Ted Kord, who is the Blue Beetle, but we haven't gotten to him yet in this show.
Okay.
And he also built, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the box, and he also built the cosmic belt. So the belt that she's wearing, along with the staff, are two gadgets that they don't really acknowledge the belt. She just has it on. But the belt is the thing that gives her agility and a little bit of strength and stuff. And the cosmic staff is like an energy projectile weapon, is a power source. So within this iteration of it, they're making it sentient. But it was something that was built by not her father, not her alleged father, but by somebody else.
Right. I do want to acknowledge
they haven't really addressed that yet.
I do want to acknowledge some of the comments that we have, live comments. And so we've got Dave. He said hi, Lydia and Sydney.
Dave.
And Dave also said,
they don't want to say hi to me and Lorena, but it's okay, Dave.
Dave, you can say hi to Dave.
He don't like your costume.
Dave also said yes. She had a picture of him and it looked like a match. And then the Hitless Network said, what's Stargirl's backstory? So I went into this. Really, they're developing her story. The only thing we really know is that her mom got remarried to Pat, aka Stripesy. Her dad never showed up on Christmas. We don't know where the dad went. The mother never looked for him. She didn't send the FBI. She didn't file a police report, a missing persons report, or nothing. We don't know why. We don't know what happened, right? They moved to Nebraska. Then we've got Pat and his son Mike. We don't know why where Mike's mama is. Where's the mother?
Mike is a brat.
Yo, Mike.
No, he's not. No.
But I like how they're developing him.
No,
I feel like he's gonna find out the secret identities in a minute.
Yes, of course.
Why do you think Mike is a brat?
Oh, he's
don't like none of the kids.
always coming out the side of he's like any brother, sibling. Like he's always coming out the side of his mouth to the parents or whatever. And it's like he says like these little zingers, and I'm like, did he just say that? Do they not smack their kids? Like
Lydia don't like any children on the show. Everybody's annoying. Is a brat. Is it this? Is that?
We've got a young boy.
Really,
right?
Sid?
We've got a young boy who's used to being like this past episode was very telling.
Oh, yes.
We've got a young boy
who's
used to always being with his father, right?
Yeah.
Loves his father to death. His father spends time with him. You got this girl, Courtney. She comes into their life with her mother, because now it's a blended family. And the father now is spending all this time with Courtney and less time with him. So now it's just like, yo, what's going on? Like, you're coming in and you're taking basically for him, it's like you're taking my dad away from me. Yeah. And it's just like, yo, he's not spending any time with me anymore. So I get where he's coming from, because now he feels like I got to build that wall up because you're coming and taking my dad away from me. Like you got your mom.
But I do get what Lydia is saying, because before that point, he was like, every time his dad want to do something, he's like, no, daddy, you old. Everything you want to do is old. Everything you want to do is from 1960, But his father, right, he is, and the thing is that I do like about the children and the teenagers in the show is that they do act age appropriate.
Yes, they do.
Annoying teenagers. And what I did like, and so I'm just I'll bring us back to with Courtney's storyline, right? So we see in the beginning that she goes to the school, this is like a clicky school, and she goes to sit at the table with what would be the new JSA, right? She goes and she meets Beth, the black girl who don't have no friends, sitting at the lunch table talking to her parents on FaceTime.
That was hilarious. She's hilarious. Oh my God.
Then you got
let me point out that Beth's mom is also a star who's a super diva on The Oval. So people we haven't reviewed The Oval. Her mom is on The Oval as the first lady.
excuse
And it's
me.
weird seeing her as this character
It
because I'm so
is,
used to seeing
it
her as a
is.
nasty biatch on the
Yeah.
on the oval.
And then we got Yolanda, right? Actually, we go back. We got Beth, who becomes Dr. Midnight, since we're talking about people.
She has the
And
goggles. The goggles.
yes, yes. You want to talk a little bit about Beth and her goggles and what she does?
Oh, so
Yeah,
the goggles. She picked up. She broke into Stargirl. Courtney.
She really did break in there.
Like, what world?
She broke
What?
into
She
the
went
house.
all the way upstairs to the
there
girl's
like-
house.
I was like, what?
Did she just break into the girl house? Broke into the house, started snooping around, and came upon straight up in the girl house.
Okay.
Came upon the goggles. She puts them on, and it immediately like activates and starts telling, like identifying stuff. So she's fascinated with it because she's a nerd, but she's smart as heck. She,
Right.
she's that kid that's like
never
4.0,
seen no
whatever.
black girl so comfortable in a white person's house in a long time.
So
Go ahead, Liz.
she bonds with the goggles, and they develop like a relationship or whatever.
Mhm.
And then as it develops, like I'm like, this is so cute. Like, oh
I
my
love
god,
this.
it fits her. You know what I mean? But yes, Beth broke into the child house. She did straight up felony. Broke in.
Can we just acknowledge her?
Well, no,
weird-
she was invited in, but she did decided to mingle her way around the house and go into rooms that she didn't belong into.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Sid, sorry.
Can we acknowledge her weird relationship with her parents?
Oh my god.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what
She
is
has no
happening
friends.
there?
She has no friends.
There's no
But
friends.
what's-
Friends.
You know what's funny? On the last episode, she and Dr. Midnight was singing, and then the parents were like, "You all right? We didn't find our lunch." She was like, "I didn't get a chance to make it. Hope you have a good day." Bloop. She got a
No.
new friend.
I'm like, she's cooking for her parents?
She is
She's the
crazy.
maid.
She's so unusual. She's weird. She's strange. Like I was like, dang girl, your only friends are your parents. Like they do calls with her. I was like, come on, chickie, you could do better than that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta teach him young. Teach him young, clean cook. You gotta get a man one day. Start him young.
Shut up.
Next. So next we got Yolanda, who is Wildcat. Sid, talk a little bit about Yolanda.
Okay, Yolanda,
Talk about like stuff in school too, the terrible stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
I love Yolanda.
You gotta have a Spitfire. This show is about diversity, and so she's representing the Latin culture.
Yes.
In the show.
Yes, I
But
love it.
For you comic book nerds, in the comic book, Wildfire was a prize fighter, and so he didn't have any superpowers. He didn't have any special suit. His ability was he actually was credited as one of the people who taught Batman how to box. Batman had a lot of disciplines, and he was one of the ones that taught Batman how to box. And so that was his thing. He was a brawler. Okay. And so she picked up the mantle of Wildcat. And we're going to learn, I guess, at some point in the series, how her suit works, because the original Wildcat didn't have he just had a regular costume. It didn't have technology built in it.
Okay.
And in the comics, when the new Wildcat, this Yolanda in the comics, she was a mutant. And her abilities came within her, not the costume. So we're learning that they switched up and remixed all of this. And so we're learning as we go along. And so Yolanda, her backstory is she was dating
Henry.
Yes, Henry.
I'm not going to go into Henry. I'll let you go into Henry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so she was dating someone, and like any teenager, they're sexting, texting, and she sent a nude pic, and it got out. It leaked. We can tell how it leaked, but it got out, and she came from a very upward mobile family, and they were, the proud parents, and she embarrassed herself. She embarrassed her parents, and it was weird. The parents sort of disowned her.
Oh my God, they did.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she really didn't try to commit suicide or something.
Man, it's a
Oh
Latin.
my God.
This is a Spanish family. Like,
Yeah,
No,
like
but it's
they,
hard.
and so when we meet her, she's going through it. She's like depressed.
Yeah.
She's a loner. She went from being the popular girl in school, and now she's a pariah within the school.
Yeah.
And so when Courtney gets into the school and transfers, I guess she noticed her in Courtney's spirit of being a protector and a natural born hero. She sees the girl getting bullied, and so she attaches, she finds an affinity to the girl, and so she pushes herself on Yolanda because she saw Yolanda practicing boxing on her own. She's like, oh, she'll make a good Wildcat. Let me go give her the suit and talk her into it. So that's the little backstory on Yolanda Montez.
Okay, Montez. We also got Rick, who is the new Hour Man. Okay, so now comes my trivia. Okay.
It's Rick. Rick is the one.
No, Rick's father, the original Hour Man, is played by.
You gotta give us clues.
Oh, okay. You want to guess?
You gotta give us clues. This can be anybody.
So the original Hour Man on this show, the Hour Man, Rick's father, is played by someone who his dad played one of the original superheroes. Okay, he changed into this crazy. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Lou Ferrigno.
Yes.
The Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
Wow.
Lou Ferrigno Jr. plays Rex Tyler.
His name is Lou Ferrigno.
His name is Lou Ferrigno Jr.
I missed that.
Lou Ferrigno Jr. When I was looking, I looked and I said, Lou Ferrigno Jr.
Wow.
That's dope.
He's playing a strong-man hothead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
So I just, wanted to throw in that trivia.
Good one.
Good one. So we got Rick, who is the new Hour Man. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about Rick? Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, Rick is a troubled young man. He's his parents died when he was a kid. He was left with his uncle. His uncle was abusive. I believe his uncle's also an alcoholic and it's been, beating him and all this kind of stuff. So beating him? Yeah, I think his uncle was abusing him as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I missed it. I can't remember.
Keep going.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, in my mind, he's getting beat. Makes it more spicy.
I'm like, we just adding stuff now?
He's getting his ass beat every day. The uncle beating his ass.
I'm like, what?
So he's not doing that well in school and everything like that, and he doesn't really talk much, but he's a mechanic as well. So he works on cars and everything. So one day he's walking home and Courtney's car, Stargirl, breaks down with her stepdad, and Courtney has all these little gadgets and instruments that she stole which she did steal from the Hall of Justice or whatever. Yeah. So there's this hourglass that flips up and down, and it senses who it really belongs to because it came from Rick's father. So she sees this light, and what this hourglass does, it gives strength. So Courtney meets up with, it gives strength for 1 hour, like super, super, super strength. So Courtney meets up with Rick and tries to tell him and everything about the hourglass and his history and his past and everything like that. He doesn't really believe her. Finally gets the hourglass, gains his strength, but in the beginning he's kind of using he's so troubled, he's using his strength for bad instead of good. And this all stems from his past because he feels like his parents he's really trying to find out what happened to his parents. Because in his mind, what he was told what happened to his parents, he then discovers was not the real case. And he finds out that his parents were murdered by this supernatural, I don't know the character. Sydney, or anyone of y'all remember the name of the character that killed
Solomon Grundy.
Solomon Grundy.
Oh,
So that was a character that ended up killed his parents. So once he discovers all of that, it kind of changes his perception of things, and it also changes his persona. Initially, he didn't want to be a part of this group, but as he discovered new things and discovered the reality of what happened to his parents, he now wants to be a part of this group and work with them because he wants to find the person that murdered his parents, and that's basically the backstory about it.
All right, so we're gonna get into the plethora of. Wait, I'm sorry. Before we move on, let's talk about Stripesy.
He's the main character.
Stripesy. So during the first episode, when Stargirl wasn't listening, she was being a bad teenager. She wasn't listening. You know, she thought she knew it all. She was like, I got the staff. I'm just gonna go after everybody that I want to go after to kill my daddy. So she getting her butt beat by one of the superheroes, and one of the bad guys we're gonna talk about. And she about to get the last beating, like you, girl, you should have been in bed by 10 o'clock beating. And here comes Stripesy with the robot that he made from old cars. When that robot flew down, I was like, yeah! I was so excited when the robot came down. Let's talk about Stripesy. I really like Stripesy.
I really like Stripesy.
When you talk about Stripesy, we all give a little backstory to Stripesy. Come on, Lorena, give us a little.
Right. So Stripesy was the sidekick to Starman, but for me, I feel like it was a little bit more than just the sidekick to Starman. I feel like he was everyone's sidekick. Like he was the one who was the only one without superpowers that was allowed to be amongst all of the superheroes. And once they all passed on, he kind of carried the legacy and took care of their stuff and closed the JSA. And, he was actually the way that Pat and Courtney's mom, Barbara, met is because he was actually still searching for some of the villains to see where they were at. And he went to this place. He followed them to Nebraska. Right. And that's where he met Barbara, because that's where she was from. And that's how they actually met and got together. They joined their families. And now he is like Stargirl's sidekick / teacher, like a Mr. Miyagi type. Right. And now he's also the new teacher for the new generation of the JSA, because the kids, they don't know what they're doing. They just
they think they know what they're doing though.
They do.
As all young people do. Yeah.
Yes.
They stay getting their butt kicked every 5 minutes. Kicked till they about to be dead. And Stripesy is always coming at the end to kind of like clean it up. And so I really, really, really like his character. And I think he's so smart. Because think about what he did. Even the kids, they're like, he built this from cars. You know what I mean? And I really like his character. The other thing is that what was funny in the first episode was when he met one of the villains that he didn't know was a villain at the gym. And the guy was like, the guy is like, oh, what are you doing in here? Oh, we're about to get you in shape. And he didn't realize that he met one of those villains in the gym. So it's funny how they all intertwine in their real lives, not knowing who they are when they become superheroes or villains. So I love Pat. What do y'all think about Pat?
I just want to interject about Pat for a second. Mm-hmm. Okay, Pat was the sidekick to Starman, right? And so again, this goes again to Courtney and it was Starman her father or not her father. You're the sidekick to Starman. You don't know that Starman in his real life has a wife and a child?
Yeah.
You're the sidekick. You're his best friend. You're his confidant, and you don't know that he goes home to a little girl and a wife. That's another reason why I don't think that Starman is her dad.
You're right, because he knows the backstories.
Yes.
He knows the backstories of the other members of the JSA.
Yes, he would know. He would even know Starman's wife, which would be Courtney's mom. He would know her already, not meeting her in Nebraska.
But maybe he can't. Maybe
say it again, Brian.
what would make Courtney so special? Like I don't understand why her.
No, you made the point. You made the point. It may have sensed the qualities within her. You know, because in the comics, it was more of a DNA thing, sort of like the hourglass detected the DNA of the boy. And so with the rod, it was anyone of his lineage could hold it. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what they're going to reveal as the origin of the rod here, but it could be that. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be sensing her quality.
Okay. Yeah. What were we going to say, Lydia?
No, I was saying that, and I don't, this is just me just like thinking about what you were saying, said, wouldn't he tell Stripesy, Pat? Wouldn't he tell Pat, like, oh, I have a family, but maybe not. Maybe, because yes, they were friends and so forth, but maybe he kept the family secret because he wanted to keep them safe or whatever. I don't know. I'm just thinking like maybe he just didn't talk about the family. He talked about everything else, but maybe not the family. And this is just me thinking and speculating.
Don't most superheroes keep one part of their life secret to protect the
identity? Right, but
they
within the comics, and that's the only reference we have. Think of them as Batman and Robin.
Right.
So there are no secrets within the two. Right. They're Batman and Robin.
Just want to let all the listeners and viewers know it is close to It is 4th of July weekend, and you'll hear some boom, boom, booms, and those are fireworks.
It's been 4th of July weekend for an entire month.
A month and a half.
You don't have to say that.
Okay. I wanted to let them know what that sound was. You're not in a war zone.
They all live in a borough where fireworks probably been going off, or in the city.
No, not really. We got folks that are down here in Maryland that are tuning in, and I see some folks from New Mexico that I work with that are watching.
Shout out to New Mexico.
Shout out to New Mexico.
So we got. I see B-Walk
we got Dominican Republic in the house. What up, Poppy?
Anybody from Trinidad in the house? Come on.
No.
I'm from Trinidad here. Listen, rude boy, bring it back. Let's get into these villains, right? The first villain is Henry King, which is Dr. Henry King, which is Brainwave. He's the first one we meet. He's the first one. That's the moment where, Stargirl's about to get beat down. Okay, she thought she knew, but she didn't know. And Brainwave's like, "Oh, you're just a child.
Yeah,
I shall take the staff and knock you out. You're just a child." And then Stripesy comes down. Let's talk about Brainwave.
Do you love the graphics? That fight scene with Brainwaves in the garage.
Yes. It was
said, I'm all in on this show. The graphics was stellar. Stellar, y'all.
Say that again. I like how you say that word.
Stellar.
It was definitely dope. And then we're also introduced to, first of all, Dr. King is a motherfucker. He's not nice. He's not
at all. He's a perfect villain. He's perfect. He's a perfect villain. Yeah.
Cold, and just not personable. He has a son, Henry King Jr. So Henry is the one who was dating Yolanda. So we will get into it. So, but Henry now, so what happened was when Pat Stripesy intervened before Brainwave almost killed Stargirl, he shot him, with his arm thing, and Brainwave is like in a coma.
He's jacked up.
He's jacked up. He's in a coma, right? So you've got his son now, Henry, who at first his dad was asking him, like, trying to get him to see if he has powers. Like, I want you to think. And his son is like, what? He's like, I want you to think about. He's like, he's like, I don't know what you want me to do, Dad. But now we see in this last episode, right? It's starting.
Yeah.
It's starting. Talk about that.
It started in the hospital.
Yes. You're right.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
right.
it did.
Let's talk about.
He doesn't know what's really happening, but he
Right.
used it to his advantage when taking a test, which is what you're
Why
supposed
not?
to do.
Right, right.
That was perfect. As a teenager, especially, you
Right.
use that brain waves and you pick up. You know, I'm in the middle of a test. I'm trying to pass this bitch, and that's what he did.
Yeah, yo, he was like, "Oh, answer them. Okay, I got the answer right here." Okay, next we're gonna talk about Icicle.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't think that somebody could outdo Brainwave.
Right.
No, his backstory. Oh my gosh, it's so like
it's
the perfect.
crazy.
Yes, it's crazy because it's like, okay, here's this person that, you know, because of his wife passing and the wife saying, "Hey, get them all for doing it. Get them all for doing what they did to me."
He's a wicked villain, though.
In his head, he's thinking, I gotta honor he's thinking I'm doing it for a good thing. But it's like, no, dude, you doing it's fucked up what you're doing. It's messed up what you're doing. But that's the best part of his character in the story. That he's thinking he has good intentions, but he really doesn't. He really doesn't. When you know what I mean? And I love that play on it.
Wait, you so the other
so
thing,
evil though.
Yo, the other thing is that when he killed the magician, his parents was like, "That's okay. We're gonna clean it up." I was like, "Oh, so they know that
they about 1,000 years old, and they went like, okay, we're gonna pick up the body." Like, what?
I'm like, what is it? Because you saw, so let's talk about the scene, the battle with Icicle and Stargirl, right? Here we go again. He set her up. He put this ice out in the middle of nowhere. Here she go. I'm good, Pats. I'm about to go out here and take care and do my thing. She don't remember she almost got killed.
Arrogant little girl.
Exactly.
Don't listen. She don't
all about
listen.
herself. Yep, she don't listen.
But she just forgot that she almost got killed by Brainwave. That went out of her mind. Now you're gonna go against somebody who's stronger and the leader of all the bad people, the bad villains, then Brainwave. Yo, Sid, get into that battle with Icicle.
I just love the development, how they're slowly developing each character. So you have a sense of why they're doing what they're doing, and they're not just being a villain for the sake of just being evil. And so you empathize with their story. And so when they do things, you're like, okay, that was messed up, but I understand. But this battle, like children, that's the thing. Children think that they're smarter than adults.
And they know
it.
Why would you think that you can beat a grown man who just like the younger generation?
No training.
The younger generation here, like they don't understand or see the magnitude that these guys killed.
Right.
The original JSA.
Right. The whole crew.
And they were at their peak.
Right.
That's what you all are brand new. You don't know yourself. You're coming of age just as a teenager, a young adult. Now you have abilities. You don't know anything. And I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to avenge. No. So he had strategy.
It was a setup.
It was a setup. And it's like he did a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
He was going to kill her, but then, you know, he got a detour and she got pushed to the bridge. And so it's like, oh, I'm going to take out the son of the magician who was giving me pushback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brian.
Sick. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Brian, what we
writing? Go.
No, my issue with Courtney Stargirl is
what?
Oh, he was
sorry. Shots fired in the back. Is the fact that she's such a arrogant little girl, and she claims she wants to be. She claims she's a team player, but she's not a team player. Like this past episode even proved that point. They were supposed to come together. Pat was going to teach them all these tricks and start teaching them how to use their powers, but you have to go through the stages. There's stages you have to go through. I got to teach you small things to get to the big things. She comes in and she's just like, I think she feels as though because this power of the staff that she has, gives her so much power that I think
there's so much power.
Anything. And I think it's a mental thing. Like, just because you have all this power doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. Right. You have to teach yourself. Everything has to be taught, because you can't just go in there and a boxer just doesn't go into the ring and just fight without knowing the skills. They have to get taught the proper skills in order to take your opponent down. She doesn't want to learn that right now. She's just going all gun ho.
Because she feels like, it's like she's reliant on the staff. I got my staff, so I'm good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Pat stays telling her like, yo, slow your roll. Like, you got to learn about these dudes, what they do, how they do it. You gotta learn. And she's like, no, I got my staff. My staff knows me. I'm good. Yeah. And then she comes in and kicks. She just kicks everything down, like the little mock, things that he had up, kicks it all down, and she's like, yay. And everyone's standing there like, yo, dog.
They don't even know how to work together with all their powers. They have no strength of a unit right now.
They don't. One thing that I do love about the show is, a lot of superhero shows will, like, each episode they deal with one villain, then the villain leaves, right? It's no intersection of the characters, right? But in this show, there's such an intersection between the different characters, right? You got Jordan, right, who is Icicle, right? Stargirl's mom, Barbara, works for him,
right?
And he's impressed by her, and they going on a business trip, right, after this episode. Then you also got Icicle's son, Cameron, who likes Stargirl, Courtney.
Yeah.
So there's such an intersection, and it's like bad versus good. And the thing is that I didn't realize that little boy in the flashbacks with Icicle and Jordan, aka when he was there,
he saw what his father did.
He saw.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was Cameron. Like, when they introduced Cameron originally, they didn't make the connection between the two until a few episodes later. So I just love the layers and how the villains are intertwined into the story. They're always there. As a
how about what's I forget the girl's name with the white stripe.
Cindy. Let's talk about Cindy.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Listen.
I was just about to get into that.
This last episode was fire.
Oh my God. How Cindy, she top bitch at the school. She nasty, she mean, she whatever.
Yeah.
She is horrible. But when you see her again, when you see her story, it's like you get it, but it's still like, damn, girl. But how they're intertwining Courtney and her now, I'm like, this is perfect storyline. I love that. So, and yes, you guys could talk about the episode.
Cindy is also Shiv. She's the mean girl, and she was the new villain that was introduced in this week's episode. She was talking to her dad.
Wait, Heather in the comments says, so are they the Junior Justice League? Yes.
Yeah.
They're the Junior JSA, Justice Society of America, Heather.
Yes. So we're introduced to her in this last episode, Shiv Part 1, and I will tell you, Courtney was not about that superhero life because she got her ass handed to her again.
By her peer, not an adult, her peer.
Yeah.
And she knew who exactly she was because she had no mask.
Yes.
Again. Just not listening, and again, that's what teenagers do. They think they know everything, and she's reliant on her staff. I got my staff. I can kick anybody's behind, but it's like, no, you're dealing with people who've been doing this, the villain thing, for a long time. Even her peer, like, you're not ready.
Well,
you're not
the funny thing with Cindy, though, is her father thinks she's not ready either. Because she's all
Exactly.
gun ho.
Right.
She wants a seat at the table.
Wants
She
a
wants
seat.
to be part of this organization that he has going on. But he's like, no, you are not ready. You're gun ho. You're too gun ho.
Can we talk about the comparison in the episode between the two fathers, or the two father figure characters, and the daughters of the evil and the good daughter, and how they're so similar in both daughters won't listen, and the conversation and the camera was going back and forth between the two. I said this was brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant.
It was definitely brilliant, and Cindy and Courtney had started to form a little friendship and chemistry.
They did. Right? They started.
They were gonna hang out, but then I knew this was gonna happen. Courtney gets asked to the dance. She tells Cindy, "Oh, hey, can we hang out later?" And Cindy's like, basically, I forget you, bitch.
Forget you forever.
Because
Forget
Courtney
you forever.
is alone. She has nobody that likes her. She's starving for somebody to like her. She's starving for attention. Her father gives her no attention. She's got this fake mother that's basically a babysitter. She's starving for attention.
Yes,
so,
Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy is what I meant to say, not Courtney. Sorry.
I have a question. Do you think Cindy's mom is one of those drones? Because her dad said, "Don't mess with your stepmom. I don't have time to build another
one." Yeah, I think so. Like a Stepford wife. Like he just builds them.
She's too polished. Yeah.
I think she's like a Stepford wife. He built her. Yeah.
So we got that part. They fight, and of course, this guy. So in that episode also, we get introduced to the janitor who's got this Sir Lancelot sword. And he speaks in that Sir Lancelot type of language, right? Who do you think he is? Because he comes in and he saves her.
I think he's Dr. Fate.
Oh.
Go ahead, nerd. Tell us.
I think he's Dr. Fate because in the comic books.
There we go.
Dr. Fate is inhabited by the Lord Naboo, and he is the god of order and chaos, maybe. Forgive me if I'm chopping it up, but he's basically an entity that his spirit resides in the helmet. And so whenever someone puts the helmet on, the spirit takes over their body and controls them. And when you take it off, the original inhabitant of the body of the person, they're sort of screwy and wacky after that. And so I believe that's what we're seeing with the janitor, is that you're not always right when you take the helmet off.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to learn more about his character as it develops, because he works in the school, and you saw Cindy, she bumped him and knocked his mop down, and here comes Stargirl, right? She picks it up, she says hi, he looks, and he's smiling, and then at the end he comes in to save the day, to save her. So I'm really interested to see kind of how his character intersects with the new JSA.
But I'm also waiting.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen between Courtney and Cindy, because Courtney knows about Sydney. But does Sydney know about, because she ran out, but they were screaming her name as she was getting ready to leave. So I guess she does know who Stargirl is. So it's going to be interesting to see how they interact now in high school.
Yeah. Sid, what were you going to say?
What were we going to say, Sid?
I'm excited to see. They haven't introduced the most powerful people of the group, which is the Green Lantern,
right,
and the genie. There's the pen. The pen that she keeps playing with holds a genie.
Oh yes.
And in the comics, the person that controls the genie is a little black boy. So I'm assuming it's the black boy that's on the football team that's gonna be that's gonna join the team and wield the pen. Because he's a little black boy in the comic books.
Okay.
And also Sportsmaster and Tigress' daughter.
Oh my God.
The girl on the football team is Artemis in the comics. Their child, and she becomes a hero.
Wait.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about those
I
two.
was just gonna say I wanted to talk about those two. Go ahead,
Those
Lorena.
two they're crazy. They've been killing football
Killing.
coaches like straight
But
slaughter.
they're workout nuts, which is the funniest part about the whole craziness about them.
Yo, they're
Like
hilarious.
they're super workout nuts. So
No, but
it's the adrenaline for them as well. Like they're crazy.
the funny thing is that the town hasn't mentioned that all these people be dying in the town with no explanation.
No
It's like people be
explanation.
getting murdered all
No
the time,
explanation.
and nobody's saying anything.
No,
No explanation.
Multiple coaches, parents,
This is
children.
what the
like,
fifth coach they went through. They
like,
said?
people are dying all the time.
he was like, listen, I don't want to have to replace another coach.
They sent a text that we got to replace another coach. They text the man and told him that. We killed another one.
You know,
Kills another one.
those
Straight
two are
killing.
actually amongst my favorites because they're so funny.
What about the
Oh, they
gambler?
are funny.
I like the gambler, but
those two Tigress
they got more character.
Yeah,
They're hilarious because it's just like, yo, let's pump some iron, let's go have sex and pump some iron some more, and then we're gonna kill. They're hilarious.
Pat was on the line at homecoming trying to get some snacks, and the guy was like, "None of that stuff on the menu is on your diet, except another bottle of water." I was like,
Yo.
for Pat, like that guy that they show that comes.
talking.
They killed the coach because the coach didn't play their child. That's why they killed the coach. That was crazy.
Killed
Wasn't
him.
it crazy though? You gonna stop my daughter?
Yeah.
You gonna stop my
Put
daughter?
her out.
She's the best player. She's the best
She's
player
the
in the
best
team.
player on it. Yeah.
You ain't.
The coach was wrong. He was wrong with what he did because the player did do something wrong to the daughter.
Well, yeah.
He came in aggressively at the end, but when the
Yeah, but
daughter
I think the coach did that to spite the parents.
He did. He
Yeah.
did.
Yes, but it didn't warrant a bat to the head.
Lydia, tomato. You say no, they say yes.
Yo, he took a bat and to his head and killed the coach.
I didn't expect that. I was like,
hilarious.
That's
And
what
they
makes this
loved
show so
every
good.
minute of it.
That's what
loved
makes
it.
this show so good because anybody can get it.
Yeah.
get it. All right, so we got Cameron asked Courtney to the dance, so she said yes. Right.
I like them together.
First of all, I'm sorry, guys. Cameron's a cutie. It's a cutie to me. It's a cutie. Cameron, hi, Cameron. If you're watching, I want to watch our show one day. Okay, keep going.
No, you were talking.
Do you need a minute?
Caught up.
Can we close your screen for a second?
Yeah.
But seriously, I like Cameron, and the funny thing is that, so when he's having this conversation with his dad about asking a girl to dance, the intersection, he's talking about Stargirl, his dad's arch enemy.
It's all perfect.
And his dad is giving
everything's interconnected. I love it. Everything is revolving around the school.
Right.
And that's what makes you so invested. It's not a villain of the week like these other shows. Someone comes in, they're gone. Okay.
Oh,
boom.
I do like that. Yeah.
It's everything is connected, and so they're spotlighting different people every episode, and so you get to know each person. That's what I love about this show.
So the next episode is Shiv Part 2. And so I think Lydia was saying, or Brian was asking about Shiv, Cindy, and whether or not she knows Courtney's real identity. Yes.
I think she heard.
And she heard it, right? And so they show in the next episode, like the preview, she's kind of like, she comes to Stargirl's house. She's like, oh, hey, Courtney. So we'll get to see how that develops in Shiv Part 2. And all right, so let's rate, because we can't rate the episode.
The show overall.
Let's rate the season so far.
For me, I'm giving 5. I love it. I can't wait for the second episode. And Lydia, what about you?
I will give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
Why?
It's her prerogative.
I'm just saying. I just want to know. That's all.
Yeah, no.
Room for growth.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I'm getting more excited, like how they have different villains. It's not just one. So I like that and how they're intertwining. So as it goes along, I'm like, oh, okay. So 4.
That's a good rating. That's good. Oh, Brian.
I give it a 4.5. There's still a little bit of room for growth for me as well. But I'm enjoying it. I love the show.
Okay, Asakiwi.
I give it a 5.55. It blew my expectations. I didn't know what to think with this. I thought it would be super cheesy, but it's giving me Buffy the Vampire feel. And so that was my favorite show back in the day. So I'm here 5.55.
We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and please be sure to join us on Sunday at 10 as Asakiwi, Brian, and Lydia are going to be talking about and reviewing The Chi and Greenleaf. You're reviewing 2 episodes of The Chi, right?
Yeah.
2 episodes of The Chi and Greenleaf.
Yes.
Blackity black.
Hallelujah.
So please come back and join us on Sunday at 10. And we are the Watch Party Hit List crew, and we're out. Peace out.
Deuces.